What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at now. We have a lady out of Georgia that is she's she had gotten arrested for trying to evict some squatters off her property. Now, this is the crazy part that I'm not understanding. How can bums just move into a place that they think is empty or whatever and just, stay there for whatever and just automatically have rights to set property, even though they're not paying taxes on property, they're not paying a mortgage, they're not even probably paying the light bills, anything like that. They just automatically have rights to be here. Now, squatters' rights were on the books for a certain particular reason, definitely back in the day, when you had properties and stuff that were abandoned, way back in the day, like let's take the Wild West or just, certain periods and times, squatters' rights were on the books because, when people moved into these abandoned properties and stuff like that, back in the day, and, they would fix them up, things like that. And of course, once they put money into it, they would, they put their money into it. But in today's society, squatters' rights are not the same. We're having people move into these people's properties and stuff and things like that they're not fixing these properties up. These properties are not abandoned. These are properties that are fully functional, probably being fixed up to rent out, things like that are getting, individuals just moving into them, because they're bums. So we're going to go here now and we're going to check some things out. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
A Clayton County attorney spent 2 nights in jail after police arrested her for trying to remove an alleged squatter from her home. Good evening. I'm George Estevez.
Hello, I'm Wendy Corona in Philander Stouffer.
That alleged squatter remains in the Clayton County house more than 3 months after an eviction battle began. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray is here now. And Justin, the homeowner is the one facing criminal charges here, not the squatters.
George, the Clayton County homeowner says she showed up to the house because she thought the alleged squatter had finally moved out after losing a court judgment. Instead, the Clayton Sheriff's Department says that homeowner performed an illegal eviction.
They've been squatting, and if they have to get somebody killed, they'll do it.
Calm down. From Clayton County Sheriff's body camera, you can see the homeowner, Lalitha Hale, taken away to jail. Not the alleged squatter at this Livingston Drive home.
She's going to be charged with criminal damage to property for all of your belongings. Criminal trespass as well for her coming in here.
I spent the night.
How does the homeowner catch a criminal trespass on her own property? What is that? What is that mindset? What is that? And, it's I find it egregious that they would actually be able to charge her with such things on her own property. Like that's me. Like, just imagine you go home one day after a hard day's work. Somebody's in your house and they, the police get called and all of a sudden they carry you off to jail because somebody else is in your house. And well, they have rights. Well, what rights to what? Rights to what?
On a mat, on a concrete floor, in deplorable conditions, while this woman, this squatter, slept in my home.
Lalitha Hale says this all started back in August when she called police after finding Sakimia Johnson in the house.
How can she not be a squatter when I don't know this person? I've never had any type of contractual relationship with this person.
But a Clayton County magistrate judge ruled under the new Squatter Reform Act, Sakimia Johnson did not qualify as a squatter because she is related to a previous evicted tenant's partner.
I was renting this.
Okay, so she's related to a previous evicted tenant. Think about how they just said that. The previous tenant was evicted. They didn't move out on their own. They were evicted. How is she having rights because she's related to the previous tenant's spouse? What are you talking about? How is that even possible? It makes no legal sense to me that something like that would go on. What does she have to do with the previous tenant that was evicted and she's related to their spouse? How does that contract just roll over to them, to her, or whatever? Like, come on, people.
That started a multi-month court battle, filings and appeals. Johnson even filed for bankruptcy, listing Lolitha Hale as her only creditor. But November 18th, the magistrate judge ordered a final judgment in Hale's favor. Hale says she thought Johnson moved out.
Returned on Monday to start painting, and she had broken the locks and re-entered my property.
She just pulled up out of nowhere, and she had this guy with him, and I locked the door. I locked the screen door, and he forced himself in, telling us to get out.
Hale admits she is still waiting on a signed writ of possession, meaning she has no legal right to evict.
We have to be notified of this. A writ has to be served, and we have to be involved in that for it to be a legitimate eviction.
Hi there, it's Justin Gray with
This is wild. So she has to wait on a writ. That at the end of the day, though, is is preventing her from, you know what I'm saying, getting these people that are there technically illegally. If you just want to be logical about this, they're really there illegally. But our system and our laws are so messed up to, you know, they're actually protecting the criminals than protecting the law-abiding citizens.
Channel 2. No one answered at the home when we knocked. The sheriff's deputy can be heard on body camera telling Hale to think of things from the alleged squatter's point of view.
But just think of it from this perspective, though.
What?
Everybody isn't as fortunate as you to have a bed. No, I'm just saying, a bed, the little things.
To see that woman.
What is he? What is that police officer just talk? What did he just say? Hold on, son. Hold on.
Hi there, it's Justin Gray with Channel 2. No one answered at the home when we knocked. The sheriff's deputy can be heard on body camera telling Hale to think of things from the alleged squatter's point of view.
But just think of it from this perspective, though. Everybody isn't as fortunate as you to have a bed. No, I'm just saying, a bed, the little things.
To see that.
Hold on here. That wasn't the time. That was not the time for that police officer to be talking out the side of his neck. He was talking clearly all the way out of the side of his neck. He had no business speaking on that. Well, you have to think about it from their perspective. Everybody not fortunate to have the bed that you got, and everybody not fortunate to shut the fuck up, son. Enjoy me paying taxes so you can get paid. I just need you to come here and do whatever legally you need to do and shut the fuck up. Don't rub this shit in my face about these illegal people staying in my place that I'm paying the mortgage on. That wasn't his place. He should have been quiet as a church mouse pissing on cotton. He had no place to say nothing about nothing. I'm talking about less fortunate and all that. Okay, then. Well, let them come stay with you then, police officer. Let them come stay with you. How about that? I guarantee you won't do it. I guarantee you wouldn't have done it. Crazy ass crap coming out the side of his neck. What was he thinking? Man, listen, look, man. Y'all got to get off these drugs out here. Y'all got to get off these drugs. Seriously. Obviously, I don't know. I'm just saying, this is crazy. Y'all got to get off these drugs. My bad. Hold on. This is ridiculous. Anyway, all right. So, man, I would be pissed if some dumbass police officer tell me some stupid shit like that. Well, you ought to think about it from their perspective. You know what I'm saying? They everybody not fortunate to have a bed like you. What that's supposed to mean? I'm paying taxes on this. I'm paying taxes and goddamn it, mortgage. I'm paying for this house. The lights are still on, all this type of shit. She paying all that stuff. I'm supposed to be happy to let somebody else sleep in my shit for free? All right. We about to go here now. We about to check out Florida's changing laws. And they say GA and say Georgia and Florida laws give give power to homeowners fighting off squatters. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's see what's going on here. Then we're going to keep diving.
A new Florida law protecting homeowners now in full effect. The legislation allows state law enforcement more power to help remove squatters from homes. Steve Harrigan has the details. Steve?
That's right, Mike. Anti-squatter laws already in effect in Georgia and now in effect in Florida as well, trying to help the homeowners tip the balance a little bit back in their favor, trying to allow local law enforcement to get involved more quickly. And they come after some high-profile incidents, including one in $1 million house in Fort Lauderdale.
The Silverado ZR2 and Multimatic DSSV.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's commercials. It is what it is.
10 squatters inside, including one of whom had false documents showing he was the owner. Local law enforcement initially powerless to do anything. Florida Governor DeSantis says criminals are trying to game the system, and that time is now over in Florida. Here's the governor.
You are not going to be able to commandeer somebody's private property and expect to get away with it. We are in the state of Florida ending the squatter scam once and for all.
Yo, hey, shout out to DeSantis. You know what I'm saying? Georgia, y'all need to go ahead on and pick up this. And every place else in America that has these squatter fucking laws need to pick this up. Now, excuse me. I think it was earlier this year. There was a situation that went down in like upstate New York or something like that, one of the super northern states, where a lady tried to evict some people out of her out of one of her properties that I think she inherited from her parents or something like that. That, of course, you know, she have her own house, stuff like that. You get it. You know, she, you know, gotta go there and check on the house. She went to check on the house, and there were people living in there. Some guy, things like that. And it, you know, I did a report on that a while back. It's on my page. Yeah, I did a broadcast on that. So yeah, and she got arrested. She got arrested for trying to kick him out. And it's crazy to me that this type of situation is going on when people are actually on legal documentation that own these properties. And yes, you know, you're getting arrested for owning the properties and won't allow bums to just lounge around your stuff.
For all.
And new penalties for squatters can be steep. In Florida, it can be a felony charge depending on how much money and damage was caused. In Georgia, it could be 1 year in prison depending on what happens inside the house. That law could have certainly helped this woman who says she offered to pay a squatter to leave her home.
We offered her $750. We explained to her that this is our house. We are not a property management company. It's just us. This is the house that I lived in, and offered her the money. And she said, that's not enough to put a roof over my kid's head. So I'm not going to take it.
And hold on. How was that her problem? How was that woman's problem? How was that this woman's problem right here, that's not enough money to put a roof over your children's head? Yeah, it is. Get your hotel room. How was that this woman's problem right here? How was that her problem? That you squatting in her house? You know what I'm saying? That you on her property? How was that her problem that you ain't got enough money to put a roof over your children's head? You know what I'm saying? Where the dad at? What's going on here? How was that her problem? You know, how about you get out there? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it. Fuck it. How about you get out there, slang a little cooch or something? Maybe you can come up with some money. How was that her problem? That ain't her problem. What are people doing out here, man? This is crazy.
The law in Georgia gives accused squatters 3 days to try and show proof of ownership or rent, or they could face possible arrest. Mike, back to you.
Steve Harrigan reporting live. Steve, many thanks.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to keep diving, and we're going to get back to the situation about the lady in Georgia here, man, because this is crazy out here. This is wild. And yeah, so hold on. And yeah, man, it's highly disrespectful that this situation is going on. And we got to get these squatter laws off of the books, because they're just going to keep doing this stuff, especially that now, you know, and the sad part about it is these people that are squatters and that are bums, things like that, they have cell phones and stuff like that. So they see what's going on here. and things like that. I'm hoping that Georgia go ahead on and adopt changing those laws like Florida's is trying to get that shit handled out there. Shout out to DeSantos for making those changes, because yes, they have to be made to protect the people that are actually paying their hard-earned money for these properties. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
He wants you to come out. He wants you to come out. Go out. He wants you to come out. No, he wants you out. No, he wants you out. Come on in.
Caught on camera, a Georgia homeowner confronts an alleged squatter and is eventually arrested after attempting to get back inside her own home. Joining me now is Lolita Hale. She is in charge with criminal trespass. She's outraged that she spent a night in jail while someone slept in her home. Ms. Hale, I have to tell you, first, I was really excited to speak to you to tell your story here, because I can only imagine how frustrated you were behind all of this. How did the alleged squatter actually get into your house to begin with?
Well, on this particular occasion, we cleaned up. We spent the entire day, the day before, cleaning out the house because it was trashed, and we thought she was gone. And the next morning, we went back to paint to get the house ready for to be rented out, and she was there. She had broken the lock off.
Ms. Hill, I can only imagine your frustration. Your first thoughts were, oh, heck no, I'm sure.
Right, I'm like, I'm just not believing this, that she had the audacity to break the law, to re-enter my home.
Now, how have police helped you since all of this started, and where are you now with everything?
They have not been of any help. The local law enforcement nor the local courts have been much of any help.
Ms. Hale, why were you arrested, though? Help us understand that. You own the home. You clearly can show that you have ownership of this home. This person is not an authorized renter. How did it happen that you ended up in handcuffs?
Your guess is just as good as mine. I would have never imagined in a million years that not only myself, but any homeowner would be arrested as a result of a squatter being in their house. That's just no logical explanation. I can't explain it.
You've been a homeowner now for a while, I understand. Ms. Hale, what happens that the laws seem to favor squatters over the homeowner? Where is that gray area, and what are you learning from this situation?
What I've learned in this particular county, Clayton County, is that the judges, the magistrate court judges there, do not understand the law, or they're not interested in the law, because they don't seem to be applying it.
And see, that's the problem. If the judges are not doing their due diligence to actually execute the law and things like that, it's a problem, because they're supposed to know these things. That's the reason why they have assistants and stuff like that to help them, figure out what's going on with particular cases and stuff like that. And they're just playing around. And see, that's a huge issue. You playing around with people's money out here. You playing around with people's property. You playing around with people's money. And then you're giving some type of legal status to bums that are just technically breaking into people's property and trying to stay there because they don't have roofs over their head. Like I showed y'all in the beginning, what the police officer said to this woman right here. Well, you ought to think about it from their perspective. They don't have a bed and they don't have. Who cares? Who cares? Get out, get a job. Obviously, she has some type of funds coming from somewhere. The bitch got a cell phone. So she got to be coming up with some money from somewhere. So it's like, why should I have all this heart for intruders? This makes no sense. Why are we so hard up for protecting criminals instead of protecting the law-abiding citizens in today's society? What is going on with this? I'm not understanding this thought process, and it's egregious to me.
Ms. Hill, you own this home. This person is still in your home, or are they out of it now?
To my knowledge, she's still in my home.
Okay. I
have been instructed not to go to my home until I get a writ. Okay. And yes, I am paying the mortgage there still.
So you're still paying a mortgage there. This woman is still in your home. You've been told you can't go back to the home until you get a court-ordered writ?
That's correct.
Oh, my goodness. Oh my god. Are you serious? Man, this got to be the most heartbreaking situation and disrespectful thought process I ever seen. She can't even go back to her own home legally, or she'll be trespassing on her own property.
And so where are you in the process now? What's next here? And when will you be able to get back into your home?
I have no clue when I will be able to get back into my home. I did speak with the court on last week, and I was informed that a hearing would be scheduled for to, I guess, some type of evidentiary hearing on her appeal. Although she has not met any of the statutory requirements in order for her to have an appeal. So I don't know why we're having a hearing, but I have not received notice of a date.
And in all of this, you don't have access to your property. You don't know what kind of damage is being done, and you're still the one paying the mortgage on this home. Ms. Hale, know that we are concerned and keep us updated on this process.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, definitely keep us updated on that situation. Hey, listen, look, man, I understand. That's sad, bro. That's sad that this lady's being treated like this and things like that. And like I said before, like it was another lady up in upstate New York earlier this year that got done the same way. She got arrested for trying to get people out of her property that shouldn't have been there. Illegal. They were there illegally. Technically, I mean, but due to these squatters laws, it seems like they're not there illegally due to the squatters laws. And these are some of the things that we got to get off the books. This type of thought process, this type of crap has to go. These squatters laws and stuff like that, that has to be, that has to be eliminated. There's no room for this in the 21st century. There's no room for this. For bums just, excuse me, for bums just coming into your property and claiming it's theirs, and just because they stay there for a small period of time and things like that, all of a sudden, you got to go through all these legal processes to evict these people that shouldn't have been there in the first place. It's sad, but it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say, that, my friends, is the bottom line.